I'm Amit Tawa from ExcelR Solutions. I'll be handling over this session today on our App Store optimization. So guys, you must be aware of SEO, right? So generally the difference that we have in SEO on a website and to that of an app is very different. App is very limited. SEO is a very large thing for websites, whereas for app it's very limited. There is not much we can do, but there is something very limited that we can do in App Store optimization, right? So first of all, what is an app? Okay, so guys, my question to you is, what is an app? Like, what do you know about an app? Like, so app is nothing but a software program that we use it for mobile versions. If you have to put it in simple terms, so that is an app. Okay, so the reason why apps are becoming such a big phenomena right now is because the number of mobile users in India have increased quite a lot since the last 5 years. So right, if we have a look at the statistics, the total number of people who are using the mobile phones in India is 730.7 million people, right? So that is not a small number, and 340 million use smartphones. So each and every person who has a smartphone will have access to either Google Play Store or Apple's Play Store is the Apple Store, right? So it is such a huge market when it comes to apps these days, because every single person has a smartphone and they have different kinds of apps. You have apps ranging from games to food delivery. You can have apps about news. Everything under the sun can it can be an app, right? So what are the major app stores that you guys have an idea about? Okay, so the major ones are the Google Play Store, then Apple Store, and then we have Microsoft Windows Store. Yeah. So now, how do we generally go about App Store optimization, right? So App Store optimization, it basically starts off with the title. Okay, so let me show that to you guys. So we generally deal with, Google Play as an example here. Okay, so if you can see my screen, this is the typical user interface for a Google Play Store. Okay, so now if you have a look at, the total number of apps that I have are so and so, which are present on the screen, right? So now let's say we would like to search about some shopping app, right? So you want to do some online shopping on an e-commerce site. So let's have this search saying that online shopping app. Okay, so the first ones that come into your picture are Flipkart, Amazon, ShopClues, Myntra, right? So now let's take the example of Amazon India, right? So if you can see the title that they have in their right, in their app, it is Amazon India online shopping and payments, right? So the keyword that we used for this was online shopping app. So the keyword, when it comes in the title of the app, it becomes very important for to get rankings in App Store. Okay, so it will get indexed. It is one of the key roles that happens in App Store ranking factors, right? So generally, a lot of people might think everyone will do this, because it's something very basic, having a keyword in the title, but just by having that, you will have 10% more traffic to your app on the Play Store, just by that one single change that you do in your title, right? So if you can see title, so the brand name would be Amazon here, right? And the target keyword is online shopping, right? So Amazon India, for example, as you've taken, they've covered their name as well as the target keyword for that particular app, right? So as you already saw that there's the brand name and the target keyword is also being used in the Amazon app here. Okay, so now the next thing that is very important is that the category. right? So we should be having a clear cut, description in your app saying what is your app all about, right? So if we have a look at this, right? So now Amazon says, apart from the keyword usage, there is Amazon India, online shopping and payments. So what they are suggesting is that it is an app for shopping as well as payments, right? So they are propagating their message of what is the use of the app in simple ways. So that way they are, fulfilling both the keyword requirement as well as the description requirement. Okay. The next thing that is very important when it comes to App Store optimization is the description that you guys can see here, right? So this is called description. So the first 80 to 100 characters of your description will play a crucial role in your rankings of apps, right? So it is very much encouraged that, the keyword that we use in the title should be present in the first 80 to 100 characters of your description. So that is a best practice, right? And also we should make sure that whatever we write in these first 100 characters, right, it has to describe your app in a very positive way. It has to be, very unique to your app. It is not something that is common everywhere, right? You have to showcase your strengths. So that is how you're supposed to write your description, right? So the first 80 to 100 characters are very crucial with a target keyword included. So now I've shown the example of Amazon India. So now let us take the same example for Flipkart or any other app. So let's say we go for the example of PUBG. PUBG is one of the most trending games that is there on the market right now. Okay, so yeah. So if you can see this, they have written about their game saying that 100 players parachute onto a remote 8 by 8 kilometer island, and everything in the description. So what they're doing here is that they are putting their product in, they're describing it. So what is their product all about? How is it going to be? So if you see not only this, any category, you look for even a food delivery app, right? It is going to contain the same thing. They're going to describe about their app. They're going to describe the uniqueness, right? So this description part is also very crucial when it comes to App Store optimization. As I've already told you that, the optimization that we can do in App Store is very limited when you compare it to a website, right? So that is the reason these limited number of options are very crucial when trying to optimize your App Store, right? So as I've told you, the first 50 words, and that is, in that you should have the target keyword along with, the description that is describing your product, right? And the next very important thing is that reviews, right? So if you have a look at the example that I've showed you previously, the review part, it contains 4.4 reviews on an average. So there are 39,30,222 reviews. So on an average, they have given 4.4 rating. So it becomes very important that your ratings and the reviews be displayed on your app, right? So let us say that you are a customer, right? You're planning to buy an LED TV, right? So you might either go to a shop, apart from that, if you're looking to purchase it online, right? You would generally go through the reviews, right? So if there are good reviews by at least like 10 or 15 people, you would be satisfied with that, and there's more chances that you buy that television, right? Rather than having 5 stars by one person, you will either go with 4-star rating with 15-20 people also, right? So that is very determinal when it comes to your App Store rankings, right? So having these reviews will draw more customers to your app, thereby increasing your downloads, right? And thereby increasing your rank as well, right? So these reviews, there are two types. Okay, one is reviews on your page. Okay, then the other one is submitting your reviews to an external reviewing websites, right? So it's like, you're having a third party writing about your website or an app on their page, right? So now if you want to seek opinion on Amazon, right, you will go to Google and say Amazon reviews, So apart from Amazon's own page reviews, they will have other sites which would have given their articles, right? So these people would have submitted their app for reviewing, right? So that is something that many people tend to overlook, but it is very important, right? So how do we gain positions, right? So gaining positions in the sense, firstly we need to regularize the downloads, right? So guys, what do you mean by regularizing downloads? Any idea? What do you mean by regularizing downloads, and how do you do it? Okay, let me break it into two. Firstly, you have a new customer and an already existing customer. So how do you make sure that you do it for an existing customer, existing person who already has your app, and you want to keep him engaged? So it is very important that you keep releasing updates of your app. Whatever small changes that you can do, new features that you can add on to your app, right? So the updation becomes very important when it comes to maintaining your already existing fan base or user base, right? And how do we do that for new users? It is by promoting it on different platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Any sort of social media would do, right? So that is one of the ways, right? So it is very important to keep your existing user base with you intact, and also adding new people as well. So that is how you're going to increase your app store downloads, right? Thereby you increase your rank. Okay, so now engagement should be continuous. The second point. So engagement should be continuous. So guys, what do you mean by this term engagement should be continuous? Okay, so the way we engage them, as you guys have said, either by giving offers, or now you would have seen the example of different money transaction apps that we have, like Google Pay, Phone Pay, and all of these. So what these people do is that they give cashback offer, right? This is something that is very unique to these platforms only, right? So now generally we have to spend a lot of money on marketing, right? So generally what people do is that they do not give an option to the customer. They try to build it based on their own standards. If they say that so and so price has to be set for so and so product, they will go with spending money on marketing rather than decreasing the prices generally, right? Instead, what we can do is spend 5 rupees on a customer and get 10 rupees in turn, right? So you give some and take some. There's nothing wrong in that. So if you remember the example of Ola cabs and Uber, right? 2 years back, if you remember, if you open your Ola cabs app, so you had discounts every single day, any point of time, right? So the next time you want to go out somewhere when you do not have a bike, if your bike is not available, what you'll do is immediately you will go to an app. You will not walk to the main road or the auto stand to get an auto. That is a thing of the past now. So what Ola and Uber have done is they have made the users indulge into their app. They made it a habit for users to use their app. So how did they do that? By giving interesting offers like they're slashing down rates and all. Now if you see Uber, Ola and all of these, they generally they do not have much offers. If you have observed things that happened in a couple of years, and now that is not there now. So what they have done is they have created a customer base huge enough to now remove these offers and continue on the regular tariffs, right? It is the same way with even telecom providers, right? So these are the things that you'll have to keep in mind. You have to be always innovative when you're trying to do some marketing for your app, because I'm continuously stressing the word that we do not have much variety of optimization in the app, right, when compared to a website. So that's the reason you have to be very innovative with the limited options that you have, right? So this is one crucial point to gain positions, to gain popularity, right? So you must have heard about this thing called word of mouth, right? So word of mouth in the sense mouth publicity. So generally these things happen for movies and all, right? So one person comes and says, okay, so and so movie is good. Okay, so if it's a friend or your family, you listen to them, and you're interested to go rather than some advertisement coming on the TV. saying that this movie is a hit, right? So this kind of offers, will create that word of mouth. It is very crucial in getting direct marketing, right? Direct branding will be done to your app.